Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 5:30, a gruesome discovery in a Lexington field. We'll tell you the latest on the investigation into human remains that were found near Citation Boulevard.
Also on WKYT This Morning, another arrest has been made in connection with a recent murder case here in Lexington.
And there's good news about the fight against Ebola in West Africa. These stories and breaking news as it happens on WKYT This Morning.
Hello there, good morning and welcome. It's good to have you with us here on this Thursday morning as we go rolling toward Halloween and the weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Thanks so much for being here. It is pretty chilly.
It is already, but the change is really coming. It's going to be attention getting with a visit that's almost like winter from weather. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. You're going to feel like we kind of bypassed Halloween and just said, let's move on to Christmas. Because that's the way it's going to feel like as we head toward Friday and off into your weekend. Live sky camera, there's your shot. Looks pretty good, I-75 on Winchester Road. It's on the chilly side, though. We're in the 30s for most. As you're walking out the door, a light coat will more than likely be needed. By the afternoon, we'll have a few clouds filter in. I still expect it to be a good-looking day. But it's going to be on the cool side, 55 degrees. That's pretty well below average. We're talking about 8 degrees. But then it gets even colder than that. We're looking at 30s possibly as we head toward the weekend for highs. Not lows, highs. Maybe even some snow. Mix that in, and it's going to be a tricky forecast. And I'll show you that coming up in about 10 minutes.
All right, Micah, we'll see you in just a little bit. And here's the latest from WKYT News.
It was a pretty gruesome discovery here in Lexington. A person found some human remains last night right by a busy road.
Yeah, the Fayette County coroner says the person may have actually died months ago, and people have been driving by. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is live near where those human remains were located. Whitney, what's the coroner saying about the investigation at this point?
Good morning. Well, to make sure this area wasn't disturbed overnight, police have been out here guarding those remains. They were found around 7 o'clock yesterday when a man driving near this field off Citation Boulevard stopped and saw them. Coroner Gary Genn says they were found about 500 feet from the road in several pieces. So far, investigators have found a skull, jaw, hip, forearm, teeth, and some clothes. The coroner believes the body is a man's, but because of how much the remains were decomposed, he isn't sure how the person died.
There's no way that we can see what we need to see in order to try to determine a possible cause of death at this time. So I can't tell you that it's homicide, suicide, accidental, and possibly even natural.
Now, the coroner says he does think the remains have been out here anywhere from 6 to 9 months. Investigators will be back out here during the daylight hours to continue this investigation. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
All right, certainly a mystery there. We thank you, Whitney. Also here in Lexington, police have made another arrest in connection with a recent murder.
Police arrested 20-year-old Savon Thompson in connection with the shooting death of Jeffrey Adams at an apartment complex on McCullough Drive. WKYT's Mark Barber is live from police headquarters with the latest developments.
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. Savon Thompson will appear in court today to be arraigned on charges of complicity to commit murder. He is the third person facing those charges in Lexington's latest murder case. Investigators say after searching for the 20-year-old for a week, they found Thompson on Alamount Court yesterday afternoon. Last week, police arrested 2 others, 19-year-old Nathan Miller and a juvenile, in connection to the death of Jeffrey Adams. Officers say about 2 weeks ago, 19-year-old Adams was shot and killed in an apartment building on McCullough Drive when the 3 suspects met him for a drug deal. According to investigators, after Adams was shot several times, the suspects robbed him and then took off. Firefighters found Adams lying in a hallway on the 2nd floor. Police say the 3 suspects are all charged with complicity to commit murder at this time because they don't know who fired the shots that killed Adams. Live in downtown Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you very much. A Southern Kentucky store employee has been accused of a disturbing crime. Police say he took a picture of an 11-year-old boy under a bathroom stall. London police have charged 18-year-old Richard Frisk with voyeurism. They say he took the picture inside the Kmart store where he worked. The mother of an 11-year-old boy called police saying Frisk had taken the picture as her son was using the restroom. Police say Frisk deleted the picture before they could see it and acted apologetic when they showed up.
Basically alluded to the fact it was just a mistake and being silly.
We reached out to Kmart's corporate offices. They released a statement saying, quote, "We take the allegation seriously. We are investigating and cooperating with the authorities." Frisk is still awaiting his court date.
New this morning, police in Powell County are still looking for a burglar who broke into a Clay City gas station. At about 1 o'clock this morning, someone broke out the glass on the front door of the gas station, Gasoline Alley gas station, that is. It had already closed. Police say looking through surveillance footage led them to search for a white Ford pickup that could be involved in the crime.
Now 5:36 on WKYT this morning. Some good news this morning in the fight against Ebola in Liberia. The World Health Organization says that the number of new cases in Liberia appears to be on the decline. There have been fewer burials and lab confirmations, as well as fewer cramped hospitals. More than half of the nearly 5,000 deaths due to Ebola have been in Liberia. Even with the decline, the organization is still warning the country to exercise caution.
We're learning more about an ice bucket challenge that led to a Kentucky firefighter's death. The Kentucky Public Service Commission released the results of its investigation into the August accident at Campbellsville University. The PSC found Campbellsville Fire Captain Tony Grider and firefighter Alex Quinn both came into contact with the power line while in a bucket truck. The two were helping out with the ice bucket challenge. Grider later died while Quinn survived. The PSC said the utility company was operating the line within acceptable guidelines, but the PSC recommends more education about power line dangers.
Even the line that runs from the utility pole down to your house, an overhead line, carries enough voltage to kill somebody.
The report also had a statement from Campbellsville University's Director of Campus Safety and Security. He said the band director had wanted to send a student up in the bucket with the firefighters to record the challenge, but the band director later decided that to be unsafe.
Lexington police have arrested a man who they say broke into a woman's apartment and flooded it. Police arrested 34-year-old Richie Mays for the crime. They say he broke into the woman's home on Codell Drive and turned the water on in her bathtub and 2 sinks. That caused thousands of dollars in damage. In addition, she says Mays damaged her TVs, a mirror, and her vehicle. Police arrested Mays about a block away from the house. He is now lodged in the Fayette County Detention Center.
Well, the search is still on for a man police say hit a school bus with his car and did not stop. Police say Gary Daniels hit a school bus on Highway 28 in Perry County yesterday morning. No one was injured in the crash. Police think Daniels went to Clay County after it, so they spent the day searching for him there. They also say twice in the last 2 weeks he's hit some police cruisers with his car, and each time he's gotten away.
He just has no regard, period, for human life when it comes to driving a car.
Police tell us Daniels has outstanding warrants in both Clay and Leslie counties.
Kentucky Attorney General Jack Conway has released a new report about domestic violence here in Kentucky. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and now we know the odds of how often a woman could be subjected to domestic violence. The study shows that 1 in 3 women in Kentucky will fall victim to domestic violence at some point. In addition, the study shows 35 intimate partner-related homicides happened in 2010 here in the Commonwealth, and domestic violence incidents are not on the decline.
Well, new details are emerging this morning after an officer-involved shooting in Louisville left a man dead. Officers Skylar Grodick and Rondell Carpenter have been identified as the officers involved. The man they shot was William Chad Mattingly, according to police, who they say fired first at the officers. Family members say Mattingly left behind 2 kids. This is the 3rd officer-involved shooting within Metro Police in 5 weeks.
An eastern Kentucky community is continuing to rally around a child who police say was abused by his babysitter. And we first told you about Braden Young back in April. Around that time, police in Owsley County arrested his babysitter, Hillary Noble, for assault and criminal abuse. Police say Braden was seriously injured and spent 2 months recovering at Kentucky Children's Hospital. Now some people in Owsley County have started a Facebook page called Justice for Braden. They say they want to make sure this case is not forgotten. The people who organized the Facebook page are also trying to set up a benefit for Braden's family.
Well, we've learned some more about former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's planned trip to Kentucky this weekend. Clinton will campaign with Senate candidate Allison Lonergan Grimes at events in Lexington and northern Kentucky on Saturday. The Lexington event will be Saturday afternoon at the lawn of the Old Morrison at Transylvania University. Former President Bill Clinton will campaign with Grimes tomorrow in Louisville and in Ashland. As for Senator Mitch McConnell, he appeared with Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal at an event in Louisville last night. Jindal was the featured speaker at the Restore America rally.
A shipping delay for flu shots is causing concern for some doctors around the Bluegrass. Some doctors say their offices received the flu shots later than expected because of the delay. Doctors say even though they're now receiving flu shots, they're still worried about peak flu season beginning this weekend. They say it takes 2 weeks for the vaccine to work, so some people will not be protected in time for the beginning of peak season. Right now, Kentucky's flu level is listed as sporadic.